Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Please do like and subscribe. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about my family's European soccer experience, albeit here in the United States. When the European teams did their American tour last summer, we had the privilege and we were blessed to see Barcelona versus Manchester City. And so I want to tell you about how that went for us, what we thought, what our overall experience was like, and then maybe you can use that information to decide if you want to spend the money to go see one of these European games whenever they come over here to the States to play. So first thing was, where was the game? We watched the game at Camping World Stadium in Orlando, Florida. Really big stadium. I think it's kind of an all-purpose stadium. It doesn't belong to like a university or anything, and it's not like, you know, an NFL team or anything. So they use it for a lot of different things, including concerts, football games, neutral, games and stuff like that. But really nice stadium, a little older, but very well kept. So we really like that. Now I'm going to be pulling up some images here so I can just kind of like reference what we did that day and what we saw. I'm sorry, 1 second here, guys. So the first thing was getting parking. Parking was pretty hectic, but we found a nice little quiet, safe looking parking lot just a couple minutes from the stadium, and they had, taxi bike services going back and forth, and we were able to get there in like 3 minutes, and the kids just had a blast riding on that thing, and they looked really cute if you're seeing them on screen right now. We did pass the Orlando Stadium, which was really cool. Getting to see that. Really nice stadium. I want to go see an Orlando FC game now. But yeah, we rode the bike in, and then when we got there, we ate our food before we went inside. It was already like very hectic walking down there. A lot of people peddling jerseys and stuff, which is totally fine. And really, truth be told, as many kits as I buy, I should have bought a few, but I didn't. I was really just focused on getting everybody over there safely. But no issues. People asking if you want to buy stuff. You just keep walking. They're selling plenty of stuff. Of course, you have to have a clear bag to get in, which is pretty standard in just America now, or probably all over the world, but definitely here in America to go into big, large concerts and events. But once we got in, pretty easy to find our seat. You get there, all the players and the coaches are out on the field warming up, and it was really interesting. I had never been to a big soccer game like this, so I didn't really know what to expect. But looking down on the field, you're seeing Erling, Haaland, Jack Grealish, all the players from Barcelona stretching, and it was just like, wow, they're just out there chilling, like having a good time. And I do know that like their teams come here for a money grab, but at the same time, their coaches are looking at this as like a preseason warm-up. So we got there pretty early. We just weren't sure how early we should get there, so we just played it safe. Got there pretty early to make sure we got our seats and everything was good. Of course, we were in the Barcelona section, so not a lot of white Caucasian people. Totally awesome, totally fine. All the Latinos were very nice, and we fit right in, I think, other than our skin color. Now, something interesting to note was the game, there was lightning out on the field or, around the stadium. And so the game was delayed, and they evacuated everybody underneath the bleachers, basically. And so we had to sit down there for about 2 hours. And my wife was not the happiest camper at that point because, I'm still getting her into soccer and bringing her all the way to this big European game. She was a good sport about it, but I could see deep down inside she was like, okay, I'm ready to get this thing going because I know this thing lasts 2 hours anyway. And so they finally brought everybody back up into the stadium, into the bowl, if you will. And it very quickly got super packed. And then again, we had to evacuate again underneath because there was more lightning. Now, you got to think how much money they're making on this game. They're not going to not have the game. That's not an option. So they will push it until midnight if they have to. I think the game was scheduled to kick off around 7:30. Ends up kicking off around 9:45. So, 2 hours plus delay. But to be honest, I don't think anybody really cared. And then by the time the game did start, it was a beautiful night. Now, it did continue to rain throughout the game, which to me kind of added to the experience. I didn't mind it at all because it was, It kind of did bring Europe over to you, because in like, especially in England, it rains all the time. Manchester City play. But yeah, it was really cool to see the players come out, and we're wearing our ponchos. I was very surprised at, I don't know why I thought that maybe they would roll out their like B team, but I guess because this is a showcase, people are expecting to see like the big players, the Erling Haalands, the Jack Grealishes, the Phil Fodens, Amin Yamal, all these, Lewandowski, and that's who was on the field to start the game. And I was happily surprised at it, because I was like, wow, this is what we came to see, and this is what we're getting from minute one. They're not subbing them in the 60th minute. Now, they did sub out some of those guys. Erling Haaland, I believe, was on the field the entire game, but Robert Lewandowski came off around the 80th minute. But anyway, it started raining again on us, and we had our ponchos. I did not care. Hudson didn't care. Harley didn't care. Kate was okay. Hagen, the youngest, he was not about it. He was telling us he was ready to go back to the camper. He did eventually get back into it, because there's just so much going on in the crowd. There's chants, there's the wave going on. I mean, there's just a lot of excitement, and every time there was a goal scored, it was just insane sound. And just to give you guys perspective, it was the highest attendance in that stadium at 72,000. There were 72,000 people in the stadium. And so, yeah, a lot of people. Really high quality soccer. We sat right behind the goal, about halfway up. Really not bad seats. Could see everything totally fine. Now, as the ball went towards the other goal, I could tell what was going on. But it was, they're pretty far away at that point. But we're right behind the goal, so we're getting a really good perspective of anytime someone takes a shot or anything like that. And we actually witnessed Erling Haaland take an insane scissor kick shot that got blocked. It was really cool though, because you don't realize how big that guy is until you're watching him in person. Of course, me and Hudson are cuddled up having a great time. Harley Joe and Hagen are doing their thing. People have to go to the bathroom all the time, but overall, really, really fun experience. Now, what made it even better, and I'll tell you, like, sometimes you just buy tickets and you get so much more bang for your buck. This game was back and forth. It was Barcelona scored, then Manchester City, then Barcelona. And I would say the stadium was about half and half in terms of the fans. So it was half Barcelona, half Manchester City fans, and it was back and forth. The game actually ended 4-4. And I thought Robert Lewandowski was going to score this insane winner right before he came off, because he just took the ball like a man possessed, and it looked like he was going to go win the game. But I can't remember if he hit the crossbar or he got blocked. It was like a low shot maybe, and it got blocked. Either way, he got subbed out, and the game ended 4-4. And then they go straight to shootout, more of just a spectacle, because people want to see a conclusion to the game. It went into shootout, and Barcelona won in the shootout. So I don't think, and we were all decked out in our Barca gear, by the way, and I will review all that stuff because I got it from Futsal Fanatics or Football Fanatics, which you can get really high quality gear or kits for super cheap. I think I got this jersey for $19, and guys, when I tell you it is high quality and it come in a Nike bag, like, I'm sure it's not legal, but I mean, I'm not telling you to go buy it. I'm just telling you what I did. And this is actually from the year my daughter was born, the year that they played Juventus in the Champions League final. You get all of the Champions League patches if you want them for no extra charge. The UEFA patch. I've got Messi on the back. So I ordered all of us a Barcelona jersey. The kids got the blue kits. I got this kit. My wife's kit didn't come in, so I had her a shirt made, which I thought was a pretty nice shirt, and she really liked it. But yeah, so we were decked out in Barcelona gear. So the fact that it went 4-4 into shootout, Barcelona won. I mean, you just couldn't have wished for a better. I guess the only thing that you could have wished for is maybe no rain delay, but the rain, the energy, the anticipation, the anxiety, all of it just played in our favor, I believe. So overall, a really good experience. Yeah, and they were doing like a giant wave. People had their cell phones out doing all the lights, and it was just really good. Now, let me tell you about the overall experience and whether you should consider taking your family to one of these games. I have been to a international friendly. I have been to a MLS Expo game back when I was in high school in Jackson, Mississippi, watching the Chicago Fire and Kansas City. I've been to SEC football games. I've been to a New Orleans Saints game that went to overtime to win the game. That was probably the closest thing that rivaled this, but nothing touches the experience that we had and how electric the fans are and really how primal everything is. I think that there's a reason that the whole world plays this game, and I love it. Obviously, guys, I have a whole YouTube channel dedicated to it, but I do think, but if you are a soccer fan or a football fan, before you kick it, before it's too late, take your family to one of these games. And yes, you can go to an MLS game, and I'll go to all the MLS games. Like, send me the tickets, guys. But I do think there's something a little bit different about a game between two European juggernauts like Barcelona and Manchester City. In fact, this June, we're going to be going to see Manchester United and Juventus at the same stadium. The other thing is, too, guys, you can get on the waiting list for some of these. So just go to Google and search, European Soccer Tour. Get on the waiting list, because when you get the notification, I got my tickets for $70 a piece, and then I saw that they had went up to $200, $300 just a week after that, and there's no telling how much they were the day of if you just wanted to snag some tickets. So get on the waiting list, guys. I think it's really worth it. My family had an incredible time, and for somebody who's been playing the game their entire life, that was the first time I got to see two teams of that caliber, and I got to take my kids. Just unbelievable experience, and I would highly recommend it. And we're going to go back, like I said. And so, yeah, if you guys like this video, if this is helpful to you, do like the video. That would help us out. And then subscribe to the channel. That way we can keep bringing you soccer and football related content like this. Without further ado, we will see you in the next video. Peace.